G'day, just at home in Mangakino at the moment, just about ready to pack my pod up on the back of my ute again, the camper, and go out for another seeker mission. Not sure whether I'll head down there today or the weather was a bit sketchy, but it's looked like the sun's coming out again now, so I might head down there this afternoon and try and get some more seeker, add them to the other jaws that I've already got. But I just had something arrive in the mail that I ordered the other day, and it's a bit of aerial art. And they're printed here in New Zealand. They can actually print anywhere in the world, I think, and they do customised ones. The one I ordered, I actually seen it online, and I noticed on there it had my favourite chamois spot on there, so I thought I'd just share that with you quickly. And so yeah, I ordered this thing and it's turned up, and I've just put the magnetic frame on it, and I might hang it in my office or on the wall behind me here maybe. Haven't decided yet, but the attention to detail, or the graphic detail of this thing is amazing. Way better than I thought. You can actually see individual rocks up this valley, or the whole thing actually. It's very, very clear. So I'll show you. It's from these guys. So this is my favourite chamois spot here, and it's called Wye Creek. It's the creek up the centre up here. So you come off, this is the road down to Devil's Staircase down here, and obviously heads up here to Queenstown. That's Frankton up the top there. This is that big subdivision out towards Invercargill direction from Frankton. The Remarkables. It's a ski field road going up to the Remarkables ski field up the top, which is up there. And there's actually a walking track that goes right over the top of that and comes down the Wye Creek Valley, which comes right down here. But this is where I go in to go hunting for chamois. I come in the bottom here, you come up, and because I got a four-wheel drive, I can go up that zigzag bit of a road there. Try and get there where the light's not reflecting on it. So yeah, come up that zigzag road and actually hunt up here. And you're mainly just walking through the native for the first hour and a half to come out where you hit the open valley up the top here. It's about an hour and a half slog, and it's pretty steep. It's a good track, it's a good public track, but it's fairly steep and stuff. It's not muddy at all, it's quite rocky in fact, so you don't actually slip over or anything. It's just hard yards grunting it up the hill for an hour and a half. So as soon as you hit that open stuff up the very top, you'll still see a few deer marks and chamois marks and stuff in the native as well, and you might bump into one all the way up. You've got potential to see them right from the bottom actually, but the first one I ever shot in my life, I had my son Adam with me, and we walked up from the car park just for a day hunt, and I had my old 270, it was sort of fairly accurate back then, and shot one that was 239 metres, I remember it. Remember it like it was yesterday actually. 239 metres where we spotted that chamois, or Adam spotted it and pointed it out, and I had 3 shots at it, and yeah, hit it. First bullet actually just skimmed its back, and it just literally just nicked the back on it, and didn't even cut the skin. It just took a half of shave of skin off it. And then the second one blew it through the back wheels, and yeah, knocked it off the rock anyway with a 270, and I went up and finished it off. And it was an 8-inch buck, so we took some meat off that, and yeah. But that's my favourite spot for chamois. And up the valley up here, as you come up and you come out into that open, it was not that much further up before I shot my one, and it was up on the left hand side. And another time I came up, and you get part way up through the native here, and then you come up onto this actual ridge, and I started going up that ridge there, and it's pretty steep. It's very, very steep up here, so I thought, oh, I'll just sidle around. So I started to sidle, and I seen another chamois there, and I actually shot that with my 222, and it was only 100 metres away when I shot it. It was sunning itself on a rock out in the middle of here. So yeah, and I didn't get that on video. I didn't have a GoPro or anything back in those days. I just got some still photos, and I had an old school canvas pack, and I actually wrote Tatonka old school on the pack. It wasn't a Tatonka pack, it's just an old rough one, but Yeah, just wrote it on there for a laugh. But so that was in there, and then I did plan on camping sort of right up here in the tent. And it was a week before Christmas time, and it was supposed to be sunny and warm, like it's supposed to be beautiful weather, and it turned to custard up there real bad real quickly. As I was walking, it was starting to get dark, and I thought I'll get up and set up in the dark, and the rain started coming down, so I put the tent up in the rain, and it was on a bloody lean, like pretty steep sort of a lean. It was the worst night I've ever had in a tent, and a very rough night in the tent, and because of the angle of it, I was sliding down to one end of the tent all the time, and pretty much got zero sleep for the night. It was pretty rough going. It was a Domex Black Ice, my sleeping bag, which was about 30 years old. It's a bloody good sleeping bag though, kept me warm. And it snowed. When I got up in the morning, it was snow everywhere, and it was a week before Christmas. It was about 4 years ago or something like that. So it just shows how quickly it can turn to custard up in the mountains there. Yeah, so that was, I'd only got to about here actually that time, up in that middle there. But I had took another mate with me one time, and we hunted up here, and then we're coming back around the side, and Liam will remember it, and he started to drop down. He must have got a bit tired, so he started dropping back down, and I came all the way up. There's that big basin here, and I come up to the very rim of it, and I thought there's got to be something over the other side surely. When I come up to the edge, I seen 13 chamois and a mob over here. So yeah, they were sort of out in the middle of there, and I just literally crawled up to the edge of that drop off on there, and there was a native falcon. So as I come up to the rim of it, there was a native falcon there just sitting there, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool, and it stayed there till it was pretty close to it actually. And then I was going to get my gun set up for a shot at the chamois, and the falcon screeched and took off, and that got the attention of the chamois because of the screech, and they all looked up, and then they seen me on the skyline, so all hell broke loose. They took off, and I started blazing away, and I got two of them. I hit two. One I shot was probably well over 400 meters when I hit that and dropped it, and little did I know it actually wounded one, a closer one than that was just sort of stayed in the rocks. And as I went to go and get that second one that I'd shot, I bumped into the first one dragging itself around, and I finished that off. I think I've got that on a previous video on YouTube. It was just filmed on my camera or on my phone or something, and probably pretty grainy footage, but so I got some meat off that, and I never actually got to the second one to recover it. It was going to get dark, and I was going to run out of time, and as it was, I was climbing down over rocks and stuff to get back onto the main track at the bottom, and phone was going flat, and I had to try and catch up with Liam, and luckily I just caught up to him. He just sort of had to get out of there, and we're only there on a day trip. So, but yeah, it's a pretty cool spot up Wye Creek there. I've actually shot my biggest ever stag I've ever seen up there as well, and never recovered that. It fell down. I shot 3 stags, and they tumbled down over cliffs. I found one 500 meters from where I shot it, because I'd marked on the GPS where they were when I shot them, and I found one 500 meters away, and it had snapped off one antler. It was laying on top of a rock in a bit of a creek bed, and there's a big fountain of blood running out of it. And I just shot another chamois just as I got to that. And that particular trip I had Brady with me, who's you might remember if you've been following my channel for a while. We went into the Wanaka ballot together, which was a disaster trip, but so Brady shot his first ever chamois on that trip as well up there. There's not heaps and heaps of animals up there, but it's a beautiful place to actually just hunt. Once you get into the big open valley, the scenery up there is bloody awesome. And so the left hand side, as you come up this valley up here, all of this left hand side, you can probably see it on there on the image there. It's that's very, very steep and treacherous. It's very, very dangerous on this left hand side, quite deadly in fact. And the deer that I got that time, trying to think where it was, he was up here somewhere, and when I shot it and it tumbled down, it went 500 meters, then when I rolled it again it went another 300. So I moved it 1 or 2 meters, and it rolled another 300 meters down the hill, smashing down end over end, and that was an eye-opener for me. I just realized how dangerous it is up there. So yeah, but yeah, this is This is pretty good detail on this, so I'm very impressed with it. I'll put a link in the description, and you can have a look at that website yourself. It's pretty cool. There's obviously the airport there. Yeah, that's a very impressive piece of artwork, really. So yeah, looking forward to getting that on the wall, and so I'll go and pack up my gear to go hunting now, and I'll add a couple of photos just from those stories I just told you there from hunting the chamois up there. I'll add a couple of photos on the end of this video, and so if you're ever down that way and you want to hunt up Wye Creek, that's where you go. I recommend it, so yeah, go and get into it, have some fun up there. The time I took Brady up with me, we actually seen 4 other hunters up there. There's one guy running, just going for a mountain run, but there's 4 other hunters up there that time. But everybody, as far as I know, had a shot at animals, so yeah, it was quite a hard case. Oh, I'll carry on, go and get packed up, ready for some seeker.